and welcome to the Teaching Corner. Today I want to talk to you about sign language and why I think everybody should learn how to sign. You might say, I don't know any deaf people. Why should I learn to sign? Well, this video is going to help you with that. So, the first reason I think everybody should learn how to sign is because all of us will at some point get older. If you're like me, we're what the disabled community calls a TAB, or a temporarily able-bodied person. At some point, all of us in our life are going to experience some form of vision loss, some form of hearing loss or presbycusis, hearing loss due to old age, and possibly mobility issues. Of course, all of us know grandparents or great-grandparents that need glasses and hearing aids and walkers. So if we all learn sign language, it would be easier for us to communicate. I want to tell you a really cute story about this adorable older couple that I saw in the grocery store several years ago. They came in and the husband obviously had experienced some hearing loss. He had around his neck a little notebook with a pencil stuck through it, and this was before the age of iPhones, so there wasn't a way to text each other with this information. But she came in and, said, "We need bananas!" And he looked at her and said, "What?" And she said, "We need bananas!" "What?" "Bananas!" And at this point, she is yelling at this little man, and he pulls out his little, pad and paper, like, "Would you please write it down?" And I'm thinking in my head, man, if she just knew the sign for bananas, that would have solved all of those communication problems. So I do think because all of us are going to get older and all of us are going to experience some form of hearing loss, that if we all learn sign language, it would make our elderly years much, much easier. I also think there are situations in life where sign language makes communicating much easier. My husband was a bass trombone performance major, and so he performed a lot on stage. Recently, he was filming a play that my son was in. Well, both my sons were in, and so he was sitting way up in the balcony, and in both of those situations, I could just sign to him and ask him about what was going on, or where he wanted to meet, or what he wanted to do afterwards, or whatever. It was just easy to sign with him, even though he was really far away. I didn't have to yell. Of course, cell phones at that point are turned off because you're about to be in a performance, or they're not even on your person because you've left them backstage or whatever. So it's just, there are certain times, like even in a big crowd, if you're with lots and lots of people, that signing makes it easier instead of trying to yell, things like that. And then the third reason I think we should all learn to sign is if you have young children, plan on having young children, or work with young children, sign language has been shown to lessen frustration and to help them communicate earlier. If you think about how quickly a child gets their pincher grasp and they're putting their little Cheerios in their mouth, at the age of 1, a child is only expected to say one word. My boys were both signing about 50 signs at the age of 1. They knew a few more words than just one word, but only about 10, but they were signing like 50 words. So it lessens that frustration, it helps you communicate. And the fourth reason I think we should all learn to sign, it's a beautiful language. It has its own grammar and syntax. It's a beautiful language. It actually helps you when you travel internationally, because a lot of times there's signs that are more understandable than trying to get an idea across with an English word, because a lot of signs are pretty obvious. But I think it's just a beautiful language and a wonderful way to learn a second language and help people communicate. But the fifth reason I think we should all learn sign language is we need to make this world a more accessible place. Like I said, all of us, if you are completely able-bodied, you're a TAB. you're only temporarily able-bodied. At some point, we're all going to experience something, but maybe we know family members or things, you know, who struggle and just need sign language in order to communicate. There's lots of people who are not deaf and hard of hearing that actually use sign language to communicate. I once had a student who had a trach, and she had perfectly good hearing, but she wasn't able to speak because of her trach, and so she signed. So I just think it would make the world a more accessible place for deaf people and for people with all varying degrees of difference. And I think it's such a beautiful language that we should all learn it. So I hope this was helpful. If it was, please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye!